Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Oh, there she is. Wonderful.
Are you Miss Green?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, we had this. Yeah. So 350. You look great. Hold on real quick. I need to find my glasses and I will be on screen in 1 second.
Take your time.
Hey, Larry.
Hello, Charmaine. How are you? I love your haircut. That's cute.
Thank you. I am doing well.
Looking at you like you look like you did in high school.
I know. I just aged a little bit. Got a little 12-year-old, not too much.
12-year-old?
12-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Are you serious? Wow.
12-year-old and a 3-year-old.
For you. You got them spaced out at least.
I know. Not intentionally.
But they both are blessings, right?
Yes, they are. I'm glad Simone hopped on.
When I saw the name Simone Green, I was thinking about Miss Green that used to be over the computer lab. Her first name was Simone.
I'm surprised you haven't met Simone. Simone been with us for a long time.
I could have, but once I see her, I may know who she is. Yeah.
Oh, she didn't have her camera on? Oh, okay.
No, she didn't have her camera on.
Okay. She helps with the events.
Okay.
Have you ever been to a friendship event?
Oh, I've been to many of them. Right. So I've probably seen her.
Background, behind the scenes, getting it together.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you talking or do you have a presentation?
Oh, I have a PowerPoint and everything. Yeah,
okay. Go ahead and share your screen. We'll have that as the main image.
Okay.
When we start.
Sure.
Did you have a video in the presentation?
No, it's no video. It's just it's a PowerPoint. You made to pull it up. Do you see it?
I don't see it.
Oh, let me see. I guess I have to share my screen, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Let me come out of this. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Share. Okay, here we go. Is it there? No.
Yes.
Oh, you see it? Okay, perfect. Okay.
Did you have a video in the presentation that you needed to share?
No, no.
Okay, so nothing has sound or anything?
You may hear some cha-ching for money, but it's nothing that needs to be there. Oh, I know Miss Green. I've seen her before. Yes. Yeah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Lord have mercy, y'all.
I'm about to switch my time. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Happy New Year. I am Charmaine Carter, the Director of Parent Relations here at Friendship Public Charter School. This is our Parent University webinar series live on a new day. This year, 2021, we will be doing our webinars on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. So this is our first one, and I am very excited about our series. I'm excited about our first one, which is so important. It's about financial aid for college. So be sure to share this if you're looking for money for college, if you know anyone that's looking for money for college, or if you're interested yourself in going back to school and you need some money for college. So please share this video. If you have any questions during this presentation or after, if you're watching the replay, please contact us at wecare@friendshipschools.org, or you can call our hotline at 202-281-1777. So we're going to go ahead and jump in, Larry.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here with you. My name is Larry Davis, and I'm the Associate Director for the Educational Opportunity Center, which is a program of the College Board. Okay, I have my screen on this. You share your screen. Let me see if I can get it to advance. There we go. So the agenda for the day is we're going to talk about financial aid basics, the sources of financial aid, federal student aid of federal aid programs, state aid programs, educational institutions, private scholarship searches, the FSA ID, which is what you use, you and your child, or you or your child would use to sign the free application for federal student aid, loans, and award letters. So financial aid basics. Financial aid is money provided to help students and parents pay for college. There's the four types of financial aid are scholarships, grants, loans, and work study. Scholarships, grants, and work study, you do not have to pay back. The only thing you have to pay back is loans. As long as you get a scholarship, grant, or work study, it is your money. So how is financial aid one of the things that determines financial aid? Here's some key terms. Things are either merit-based, need-based, cost of attendance, which is COA, expected family contributions. So financial aid is determined by the cost of attendance minus the EFC, which is expected family contributions, which equals the need. And I know someone is probably asking, well, how do they determine how much the family is going to contribute? That's all done through the FAFSA and that FAFSA process. And what's generated after the FAFSA is complete is a student aid report, or a SARP, which is needed for DC TAG as well as a lot of other scholarships. So a lot of times students think I graduated from high school and I'm independent. According to the federal government, these are the guidelines that makes you independent. You have to be at least 24 years of age by December 31st, be in graduate or professional school, be married, have legal dependents other than a spouse, legal guardianship or be a ward of the court, active duty military or veteran, emancipated minor, homeless, or determined independent by the financial aid administrator. So sources of financial aid. Financial aid comes from either federal government, state government, educational institutions, or private sources. So here are some general eligibility requirements. You must have a valid Social Security number, and whatever name is on your Social Security card must be also the name that you put on the FAFSA and any other legal documents. You may not be in default on a federal student loan, and you may not have owed repayments of a federal grant. And you must make satisfactory academic progress to be defined by the school. Most times, satisfactory academic progress is at least a 2.0, which is a C average. So here's some federal aid programs that you need to know about. First, there's the PELL grant. There's Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grants, the Iraq and Afghanistan Service Grant, Teach Grant, Work Study, Stafford loans, and PLUS loans. Those first 5 items there are all free monies that you can get to go to school. So the federal Pell Grant, we're going to talk about each one of them. This is awarded based on the eligibility of undergraduate students pursuing their first bachelor's degree and students enrolled in post-baccalaureate teacher certificate or licensing program. Notice there is no age limit for this Pell Grant. You can be 18 to 80 and still get a Pell Grant if you are pursuing your first bachelor's degree. The actual award amount is based on the cost of attendance minus a DFC and the enrollment status. The annual award limit for 2021 is up to $6,395 for the year. So it breaks down to roughly $3,197 per semester. So the Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, or FSEOG, this is for eligible students, undergraduates pursuing their first bachelor's or professional degree, awarded first to students with exceptional financial need, and its priority goes to Pell Grant recipients. So if you are eligible for a Pell Grant and you don't have FSEOG on your award letter, which we'll talk about a little later, then you can always ask the financial aid about these monies. Whereas the Pell Grant comes from the federal funds, and it's an unlimited amount. FSEOG is given out by the schools and it's limited amount. That's why you should apply early and often. And the annual award is between $200,000 and $4,000. Then there's the TEACH Grant, which is Teacher Education Assistance for Higher Education. This is for undergrad or graduate students enrolled in courses to become a teacher. You must serve a minimum of 4 years within 8 years of completing the program as a full-time teacher in a school that serves low-income students. You must attend a participating college and meet academic achievement requirements. Failure to meet the commitment will result in the grant converting to a loan. The maximum amount is $4,000. Then there's federal work study for undergraduate or graduate students. Employment may be on or off campus, and eligible employers are schools, federal, state, or local public agencies, private nonprofit organizations, or for-profit organizations. And it's something that's usually on your financial aid award letter if you are eligible for it. But it never hurts to ask the financial aid office about federal work study to see if you can get it. It's money that's given to you usually on a bi-weekly basis, a bi-monthly basis, twice a month, and is used for your personal expenses. Then there's the federal Stafford loans. There's the William D. Ford Federal Direct Loan Program, which provides directly by the federal government. Schools determine the loan eligibility and delivers loans to the students. And there's usually 2 types of loans. There's subsidized, which is need is considered, and Department of Education pays the interest while the student's in school. And unsubsidized is considered, the borrower is responsible for the interest. So repayment of Stafford loans. If you have to get a loan, excuse me, if you have to get a loan, it's best to get it through the school because the interest rates are the lowest. As well as there's a 6-month grace period after you graduate, as long as you're in school, excuse me, before you have to pay it back. And maximum repayment periods are 10 to 25 years, depending on repayment plans. And that's just a listing of the different plans. Deferment and cancellations are available. And there's also forgiveness loans. PLUS loans. Now, this is what the parent has to take out. This is not something I recommend because, not that it's not good, because education is a valuable investment, and investing in you or your child is a worthy cause. However, the borrowers are parents of dependent undergraduate students. There's annual loan limits, which is the cost of attendance minus other aids. and repayment starts in 60 days after the loan is dispersed. Deferment provisions, only principal is deferred, interest must be paid. So the difference is where you have 6 months after you graduate for the student. If the student gets the loan, the parent has to start paying 2 months after the loan is taken out. So applying for federal aid. This is done through the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. So you need to collect family, personal, and financial information from income documents. This is federal income tax returns from prior years. For instance, if your child is graduating in 2021, which would be this coming May or June, then the taxes you would use would be 2019 taxes. And they're used to calculate the EFC. And from that EFC, of doing that FAFSA, that produces the student aid reports, which is processed. And you may file the FAFSA in one or two ways. Paper, which is not recommended. And the FAFSA can be done on the web, and it's at fafsa.ed.gov or at studentaid.gov/h/apply-for-aid/FAFSA. These are the places you go. Now, we know we are in a pandemic. So if your income was affected by COVID and the pandemic, and your income has changed from 2019, then you would speak to the financial aid officer at the school to inform them that your 2019 is not a true reflection of your income. So this is what the website looks like. You would then log in. This is fafsa.ed.gov. And when you log in, there's a place for you to create what is called an FSA, which stands for Federal Student Aid Identification Number, which is unique to you. And you create that FSA ID. You can create it right there where it says create one. And you go to create an FSA ID. You have to have an email address, your username, and a password. The username can have your name in it, but the password cannot have either your name, your part of your birthday, nor can it have any parts of your social security number. And then there are challenge questions. You have to pick 4 of the 16 challenge questions that you will remember. That's easy for you to remember, and it's also case sensitive. And this is just a list of some of those challenge questions. Mother's maiden name, city you were born in, pet's name, elementary school nickname of a sibling, high school mascot, first person you kissed, color of your first car, place of your senior prom, first movie in a theater, name of your house of worship, street you grew up on, the city your parents met, childhood nickname, name of your best friend, favorite band or singer from in high school. So then there's state aid. We mentioned state aid. And I think for most people that's probably on this call, you're in DC. So OSSE, or the Office of State Superintendent.ed.gov, would be the place you would go. If you're in Virginia, you would go to the Virginia Higher Education Commission, and Maryland, or Maryland is the Maryland Higher Education Commission for grants. So the District of Columbia is very unique. It is the only place in the United States that has what is known as DC TAG, which is the Tuition Assistance Grant. DC TAG opened yesterday for the 2021 school year. And what DC TAG is, it gives up to $10,000 toward the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition at any public college or university in the United States. And it provides up to $2,500 per academic year toward tuition at community colleges, as well as at private colleges and universities in the district and private HBCUs nationwide. The age limit increased from 24 to 26 years, so you can start as young as 17 or 18 and goes up to 26. And as I said, This application opened on yesterday. So you want to make sure you do this as soon as possible, as once you have filed your DC taxes. So this is what the website looks like. It looks a little different now. So now you have to register for the DC1 app. It's at dc1app.dc.gov. You register, you go in, then when you register, you create a login. From that login, you go back and do the application, and it takes the child's information as well as the parent information. And then from that, you get an award letter. And that award letter will tell the school that you're going to that you can receive up to $10,000 difference between in-state and out-of-state. And it's the child's responsibility or the student's responsibility to take that award letter to the financial aid office at the school that they are attending. So some other things that's unique to the District of Columbia, for any adult that wants to go to school, or they have children, or if they are TANF recipients, there's a grant called TAP-IT, which is Tuition Assistance Program for TANF students, TANF recipients, and you can get up to $4,000 there that can be used towards going to school per year. There's also the DC College Access Program, or DC CAP. The DC CAP scholarship for DC public school graduates is up to $4,000 a year, but you must have a 2.5 GPA. And then there's and freshman and upper class renewal deadline is May 31st of every year. Then there's the DC Mayor's Scholarship undergraduate program, which goes up to $4,000 as well, and is to attend eligible institutions. Some of the eligible institutions are all of the schools in the District of Columbia and the surrounding DMV, including schools in Northern Virginia or in Maryland, like Bowie, Morgan, and some of the other schools. And it's all need-based. Then if you have a child who is receiving special needs or special services, the Rehabilitation Service Administration also has funds that they will use, which is up to the cost of whatever a one-year cost of school at the University of District of Columbia, and it's our RSA services. So there's another type of financial aid that you can get from institutions. Every college and university has their own scholarship programs. So you would want to tap into wherever you are going to school or your child is going to school and see if they have institutional scholarships. And therefore there's monies. Usually when a financial aid award letter is generated, if the child's GPA and or academics or athletics is considered, they get a scholarship that way. But then there's also monies that have been endowed at the universities. There's usually special applications are often necessary to be considered for institutional scholarships, most of which are merit-based, and some colleges require the students to submit a CSS profile, which can also be found on the College Board. Also, private schools require you to have a CSS profile as well. So this is my baby right here, private scholarship searches. I stress to people that they should definitely apply for scholarships. And Friendship is very good about supplying these. And I also bring scholarships to the schools for the students to apply and have lots of scholarships. So here's just a few websites that you can look at: collegeboard.org, fastweb.com, scholarship.com, studentaid.gov. Local libraries usually have scholarships. Of course, we're in COVID, so they are not open right there. Lots of businesses, civic organizations, churches, places of employment. If anybody works for the government, there's a scholarship called Blacks in Government. There's Colgate scholarships, Tylenol scholarships. You name it, there's tons and tons of scholarship programs out there. Ms. Carter can attest, when they were in high school, I was their counselor, and I threw scholarships at them all the time for them to apply for. So there's also a scholarship that's germane to the community colleges in the area in case your child is deciding to go to the community college. This is called the Herb Block Foundation Scholarship, which you have to meet eligibility criteria for financial aid. If you're a resident of DC, PG, Montgomery counties in Maryland, or Arlington or Fairfax, once you get your high school diploma or GED, and if you plan to attend either Montgomery, Northern Virginia Community College, Prince George's Community College, or the University District of Columbia Community College, if you enrolled at least half-time, they have 2 waves in which they give several scholarships. It's usually July 7th or November the 10th. So both of those times are available, and they give scholarships anywhere from 10 to 20 different scholarships, and it's up to $4,000 per semester or $8,000 a year. So there's lots of free money out there. So your child has applied to school, they've been accepted, and they have placed that school on their FAFSA. Then they will receive what is known as a financial aid award letter from every school. Every school that accepts them and they are on the FAFSA must give your child a financial aid award letter. So that financial aid award letter consists of the cost of attendance, the student's EFC, that's the expected family contribution, the amount of the student's financial need, and programs and amounts from each program for which the student is eligible, how and when the aid will be distributed, and the terms and conditions of that student award. So if you have students who have applied to school, this is what you need to be on the lookout now. Generally, most institutions have their financial aid award letters out anywhere between the middle of March and the middle of April, because they want students to make a decision about coming to their schools by May 1st. So this is a couple of samples of a financial aid award letter. On your left is actually one that came from the Virginia Commonwealth University, and on the one on your right is actually just a sample from a university. If you look at both of them, the one on the left is Virginia Commonwealth University is a public school. So the student was able to get a federal PELL grant, the federal SEOG grant, work study, subsidized loans, unsubsidized loan, and a non-resident need-based grant. So this $20,000 would go toward whatever the cost would be toward at Virginia Commonwealth University. What's not on this financial aid award letter is DC TAG, which is an additional up to $10,000 that can be taken off the cost of the institution. The sample award letter on the right has a presidential scholarship along with the Pell Grant, along with FSEOG, the state scholarship, federal work study, and 3 different types of loans. And it also lists the cost of the school. So the total cost of that particular school was $55,000. And they were given aid of $34,000. So that means now the student has to come up with that other $20,000. So this is very important. And if this is something that my organization will gladly sit down with you, go over your award letters with you and this child in order to determine what has to come out of your pocket, as well as what may be the best fit for the child. And we can sit in it and also find schools that can also come up with a better match for them that will not have them in debt once they graduate. So some helpful tips. Read financial aid documents carefully. Pay attention to deadlines, because once you're offered this, you have to accept the award. It's not going to just be there without you accepting it. And it will go away if you don't accept it. So you have to confirm the award. If you get loans on the award and you don't want them, you can decline the awards and say yes to the free money, which is the scholarships and the grants. Utilize campus resources. That's financial aid administrators, advisors, student ambassadors. Attend orientation and stay engaged. But don't forget to reapply for aid. You have to apply every year for the FAFSA as well as for DC TAG. That's a must. It doesn't just happen automatically. So that's the end of my presentation. And if there's any questions at this time, please feel free to ask.
Thank you for all of this helpful information. Can we, actually, I was going to ask if you can go back to the helpful tips slide, because they are helpful.
So which slide?
The helpful tips right before the last.
Sure. Okay.
Information.
Okay, let me see if I can go back one. Let's see. Let me see. Here's screen. Let me see. There we go. Let me see if I can go back one. Okay, maybe I have to go to the front.
So the whole presentation again, it's okay. I think our viewers should definitely screenshot this information and use it. So while he's trying to find that slide that I wanted him to reshare.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, here's the presentation. Oftentimes, I know senioritis is real.
Yes.
It's real. And you're so done with high school. You're so ready to be an adult and go to college and get away from home and all that stuff that sometimes you lose sight of what it is that you really need to do. And I'm not going to say it's a lazy thing because I'm not going to put a term like that out, but sometimes seniors aren't motivated to do the work that it takes to find free money when they are clearly eligible to receive all the free money that's out there. And a lot of seniors, and I can attest, once you graduate from college, you feel filled with regret when that 6-month grace period comes and that bill collector comes for those loans saying, okay, it's time for you to give me my money. And you barely even found a job where you can pay the loans back, right? So I say all that to say, choose your heart. It's maybe hard work right now to find the free money, to do the research, to do whatever it takes to get that free money, but it's going to pay off in the end, especially after you graduate and you are debt free. Or if you had to get out of a loan, it's a small amount that you can repay and you won't be in debt for an extended amount of time. You could get a loan, but as you see in this presentation, there are so many free resources, so many ways that you can get free money. And all you have to do, we're sharing this information for free. All you have to do is just go to these websites that he shared with you, use these helpful tips that he shared with you, and apply this free information to your situation. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're a friendship scholar, you know that we have college counselors. You know that we have our staff. If you don't know anywhere to go to the We Care hotline and we can direct you where to go. You could just say, I saw this presentation about free money. Who do I need to talk to who can sit me down and break this information down with me if it was too overwhelming? And our email is wecare@friendshipschools.org, and we will be glad to help you. But please, please, please choose your heart. And I hope that you've made the right choice and your heart is going to these links that was shared in this presentation and doing the work on this side so that you can receive free money throughout, so that on the other end, you won't be in a bunch of debt. I hope that you will do that. Don't forget the the nugget about reapplying for tag, DC tag. It doesn't just happen. And please, please do not forget to pay attention to those deadlines. That is important because, like he said, you have to confirm that you want to receive that money. Just because you get a letter doesn't mean that anything. You have to accept it, accept the award. Okay. So just make sure that you're paying attention. And just like we said, if you don't know, we're here to help. Just don't stop. Just don't shut down because you don't know. Definitely reach out if you need assistance. We are more than happy to help. We did have some questions. So for the tax information, you shared earlier in your presentation that for scholars who graduate in 2021, you would use your 2019 taxes.
That's correct, for the FAFSA.
Okay.
Right.
So for a family who graduated last school year,
Uh-huh.
child may have taken a break, you know, with everything going on with COVID, would they still use the 2019 taxes or would they use the 2018?
They would use 2019 because they would be going to school in 2021. Okay. So it's 2 years. It's 2 years prior to the year that you're going to school.
Okay. Perfect. And then for the DC tag grant, do you have to use your 2020 tax? Okay.
You have to use your 2020 taxes.
For the DC tag, it's
the current year. Okay. And the reason for that is they use the current year for DC taxes. I mean, for the DC tag grant is because you have to be a resident, and that tax statement proves that you are a resident of the district. Now, if you don't file taxes, there are other documents that are used that would show that you are still a resident of the District of Columbia in the year of 2020 in order for you to get the funds for 2021.
Okay, perfect. And then this isn't a question, but you know, this is a comment.
Sure.
You call me out. How you gonna call me out about being my counselor back then? You know, I am 21. I don't know what you're talking about. I am so young.
You are. You're still young.
You called me out back in the day, almost 20 years ago. He used to be my college counselor. No, really, he did. He was my college counselor, and he looks amazing, right? He's taking care of his health. Wow. And the same information that he's sharing now, except it's updated for you guys. Was the same way he was sharing the information then. But I can tell you from experience that when you're in that setting, when you're in the high school setting, you don't take it as seriously as you do now. And so I'm telling you, as an alum of Friendship, on the other side, listen, take this information seriously. Parents, please, even if your scholar is so desperate to go to college and they're not focused on the money piece, please support your scholar in taking this information seriously and guiding them and applying the information that we shared today for them so that you can set them up for success in the future. In our previous webinars, if you go to our YouTube page and if you go to our Facebook video history, you'll see that we did a webinar on matched and fit for college success. And it broke down just the average that graduates make once they get out of college versus how much a tuition is. And if you took out loans, how long it would take for you to have to pay off that debt with the amount that the average scholar makes after they graduate from college. It doesn't add up. And so we don't want that for your scholar. We want you to be successful to and through college. All right. So I hope that you got the information because you stopped sharing your screen, but I hope that you have Mr. Davis's contact information. You want to share like a phone number where they can reach you?
Sure. Let me see if I can pull this back up. 202. Here we go. That's the number at the office, 202-741-4730. And my email is ldavis@collegeboard.org. Ms. Carter will have my information if someone wants to talk to me specifically. And I would look forward to meeting each and every one of you and helping you and or your scholar with your next level of greatness, whether it's college, proprietary school, trade, whatever. Because we just want to see you succeed, definitely.
And I can attest, I've known him for some time now. He called me out earlier. I've known him for some time and he has always shared the same passion. And so this isn't just someone out here trying to get famous, but this is someone who just really wants your scholar to succeed and wants you to succeed if you want to go to college. So be sure to contact him. Be sure to reach out to the We Care hotline if you have any questions at all. And if you want to learn more information about college, we will be right here on Zoom and on Facebook Live. Just follow Friendship Public Charter School. Just follow our page. Every first Tuesday of the month, we'll be giving information, giving wisdom about college. So you can check us out on the first Tuesdays of each month at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, thank you so much.
And one more thing, because people often ask, how much do we cost? It's absolutely free.
It's
all
free
of
now.
our services are free.
Free.
Yes.
Free. Don't you just love free?
Exactly.
Please take advantage of this free information just free.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thank you.
Wisdom with the world. I hope that someone was finding this helpful, and I hope that you will just continue to share this information. If you're watching the replay, be sure to save this, screenshot the information, apply the information, and share it with someone who you know that could benefit from this. We will see you again next week, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Next week, we will be talking about goal setting for one of our parent leaders, Malika Kinney. This will be her first presentation with us, so we're really excited. Tech Prep, if you're watching, be sure to join us next week, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you then. Have a great evening. Oh, awesome.